there's something that's been concerning me quite a bit that I've seen on the news. I've seen examples of this now for well over a year, and it scares me. It scares me because it's dealing with one of the most sensitive issues that we have in our time right now, and actually it deals with the number one killer, and that is, of course, obesity. But I think we're taking the wrong approach. Through trying to create a positive environment of positive body image, we are now celebrating obesity. And there's a big difference between celebrating obesity and fat shaming. Trying to be positive is great, but are we going overboard with this obesity, body positivity, and the health spectrum today on the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast? Good day and welcome to the Personal Edge Fitness Podcast. My name is Garrett Williamson. I'm president of Personal Edge Fitness. Thank you so much for joining me today on this, what I think is an extremely sensitive topic. I want to tell you before we get into this, if you have any questions dealing with this podcast or any others, or of course, questions for Ask Katie, you can reach out to us at area code 251-278-3343. That's 251-278-EDGE. You can also reach me at Garrett, Garrett, at personaledgefitness.com, which of course is my email address. Personaledgefitness.com is our email address. Is our website. And of course, Personal Edge Fitness is where you reach us on Facebook. If you're interested in contact us via Twitter, hit me up at TeamPE. This particular issue has bugged me quite a bit. And I've been thinking about doing this podcast for quite some time, but actually had to calm down a bit, because I think the approach that we're doing with this particular subject is wrong. But I had to think about it a bit because it crosses over into a very dangerous territory of as far as me approaching this topic. I've got to kind of toe the line here and do a balancing act, because we don't want to get into something extremely negative, and it's been around for years, which is known as fat shaming. But I think that we're taking this situation a little overboard. So I'm going to go through it today and kind of get into the concerns I have and the issue itself. There's a global conversation that is currently making waves that concerns weight, health, and what is known as body positivity. Overweight celebrities are playing a critical role in this discourse, some encouraging their followers to embrace their bodies regardless of size. However, like I said, it's a delicate issue. While it's crucial to discourage fat shaming and promote self-acceptance, we must also consider the health implications of obesity, the number one killer in the world. All right, let's explore this complex issue in depth using recent examples and a clear-eyed examination of the potential dangers of both ends of the spectrum. First, let's start with a few high-profile examples. Now, Tess Holliday, who's an American plus-size model, and Lizzo, a popular singer, have gained fame not just for their talents, but also for their bold approach to what is known as body positivity. They openly celebrate their overweight bodies, challenging societal norms that often equate beauty and worth with thinness, and we're all well aware of that. Their intent is to dismantle body shaming, foster self-love and acceptance in a society where fat phobia is deeply ingrained. Now, I have to tell you that I know of these two celebrities, and I don't mean to take anything away from their talents, but it's not they're not people I follow on a regular basis. They really didn't show up on my radar until I started seeing this, what I think is possibly very dangerous practice. Undoubtedly, their impact has been significant. They're empowering many to love their bodies. They stand up against discrimination and shed the deep-seated shame often associated with being overweight. However, many critics, myself included, argue that by encouraging the celebration of obesity, they could inadvertently promote unhealthy lifestyles. The term obesity isn't a cosmetic term. Now, this is recognized by the World Health Organization, WHO is the abbreviation for them. They define obesity as abnormal or excessive fat accumulation that may impair health. This is actually the technical definition of it is for a female, 30% body fat or more, and for a male, 26% body fat or more. And this has implications of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and certain types of cancer. It is the number one risk factor for 4 of the top 10 killers. It's number 9 for cancer. It's number 2 for Alzheimer's. And this, we have to be careful about this because this brings us to the dangers of fat shaming. And fat shaming, you've probably heard of, you're probably familiar with, is the act of mocking, criticizing, or discriminating against someone because of their size. This can have dire psychological and physical consequences. A study from the University of College in London reported that people who experience weight-based discriminations were more likely to gain weight and less shaming and less likely to lose weight. They've connected the fat shaming to depression, to low self-esteem, and even eating disorders. And I'm well aware of that. I mean, I don't think any that passes any of us by. On the other hand, the potential dangers of celebrating obesity lie in the risk of normalizing, glamorizing unhealthy lifestyles. If taken to an extreme, body positivity could overshadow the importance of maintaining a healthy weight and lifestyle, leading individuals to overlook or dismiss serious health concerns. We're essentially fostering self-acceptance, but we're borderline pushing people to looking at and approving of unhealthy lifestyles. So how do we navigate this? Well, the answer lies in a balanced approach that emphasizes health at every size. There have been terms that have been thrown out over the years of fit and fat, being heavy but being fit, being healthy. Health should not be a single rigid ideal, but a spectrum that recognizes the diversity of human bodies and the individual journeys towards health. Everybody's looking for their own healthy lifestyle. They're looking for their own level of wellness. We've said that many times. But cardiovascular fitness, mental well-being, the controlled eating habits, these need to take place in every body shape. It doesn't matter what size it is. If we want to promote a healthy lifestyle, we want to combat this overwhelming problem we have of obesity. In a society increasingly polarized between fat shaming and celebrating their obesity, there's a need for a nuanced approach. Rather than celebrating obesity, we should celebrate health at all sizes. I keep repeating myself on that. I know that. And fat shaming needs to be replaced with supportive, compassionate approach that encourages people to adopt healthy lifestyles without stigmatizing their current body size. That's the answer. And these celebrities like Lizzo and Tess Holliday, they have a unique platform to encourage what is known as self-love and acceptance. But it would be valuable to they and others if they could leverage this platform to promote this nuanced approach. If they could look for a balance in this. The problem that I see many times with the statements that are made, the Twitter comments, the Instagram post that celebrities like Tess Holliday and Lizzo make, it is overwhelming attitude. An overwhelming attitude and almost kind of a in-your-face, I'm big and this is great approach. And that attitude, while I'm sure they've got the right ideas in mind because they're thinking of body positivity, they're thinking of combating fat shaming, I still think that the ramifications of using that kind of egotistical almost out in your face, boldly proclaiming their how okay they are with their size, or how okay they are with their obesity. is going to lead people into working towards that or making that almost a goal. Not wanting to make healthy lifestyle changes, not wanting to make changes whatsoever. Instead, demanding that other people accept them as beyond normal, beyond just being beautiful. Thinking of themselves as beautiful is perfectly fine. Thinking of themselves as normal I understand that. I understand the rationale there. I understand the psychology there. But when you do it with a defiant attitude, then you've got impressionable kids. You've got impressionable nowadays. You've got impressionable adults that are listening to them, that are pushing this lifestyle, that are pushing this level of obesity. There's even I don't know the person's name, but there's even a TikTok celebrity who is grossly obese. I mean, and when I say gross, I mean as an exaggerated obesity. I don't mean an idea of the way they look. I mean, it's well over that. I've been doing this for 31 years. I've got a bachelor's degree in fitness management and a bachelor's degree in exercise science and a master's in fitness management. In many cases, I don't have to do somebody's body fat to tell that they are, obviously well in the obesity range. And this particular TikTok star is going on interviews and celebrating how large they are and making incredible statements about how attractive they are to the opposite sex, about and actually complaining when the opposite sex don't find them attractive. Look, that's for a whole nother discussion as far as how attractive they are to somebody. Because of course there are actually fetishes that like all types. Doesn't matter what size it is, what size they are, how tall they are. Doesn't matter. But the way this particular TikTok star is pushing it, they're celebrating obesity. You can't call it anything but. It is not just I'm trying to celebrate positivity. They're celebrating obesity. And as I've said many times, I've got a whole podcast about this. It's the number one killer. It is the number one killer. Why do I say that? If you haven't heard that podcast, I talk about the top 10 killers. The number one that's recognized as number one is heart disease. Number two is cancer. In and amongst those, of course, is kidney disease, is diabetes, is dementia. And the reason I say that obesity is the number one is that you don't catch heart disease like a cold. You don't catch cancer. I guess you do, cancer starts somewhere. We're looking for the cause of it. But it's not something like a cold that you catch cancer. You don't catch kidney disease. You don't catch diabetes. So we look at the risk factors to determine how you end up with those diseases. And the number one risk factor for 4 of the top 10 killers is obesity. No, it's like I said in the intro. It's number 9 for cancer. It's number 2 for Alzheimer's. And so, if you put all that together, obesity is the number one killer. And if we were to eradicate obesity, we were to get just that one risk factor taken out of there. Do you realize that? And this largely in Garrett's opinion, but do you realize that? I know that there would be a major reorganization of the top 10 killers. I'm quite certain cancer would far surpass. It's about to surpass heart disease anyway, but it would definitely surpass heart disease. Heart disease would be so low on the spectrum. I don't even know if it would rank in the top 10 if we were to get rid of obesity. And we've dealt with this, and we've known this is an issue. This was something that when the whole live food started, a professor, a university professor, actually pleaded with the Senate panel that was working on the food guide pyramid, or trying to find out why we had an increase in heart disease. Pleaded with them, look, if you don't make the right decisions on this, you could create a situation that would have epidemic proportions, which is exactly what we did. We created this obesity problem, and we recognize it, and we know it's there, and we're starting to deal with it. And now we're celebrating it. Folks, this is damaging. Folks, this is dangerous. This is not the correct approach. This is not body positivity. This is celebrating a disease. I'm gonna give you a great comparison. As I've said many times on this program, there's only one reason why we overeat. The only reason why we overeat is cravings. We crave, therefore we overeat. And we don't crave foods, we crave chemicals. The chemicals that we crave are salt, sugar, alcohol, or caffeine. Those 4 chemicals, that's what we crave. And there's only 2 reasons why we crave. Lack of water. You know that. I'm a big proponent of drinking water. 40% of the reason why we crave is lack of water. Number 2 is stress. 60% of the reason why we crave is stress. And that's why when we're talking about fat shaming, how dangerous fat shaming is, which I am completely against. I've always been against fat shaming. I've had dear friends that have fought that all their lives. I saw it in my childhood. I saw it when I was coaching gymnastics. I've seen it in my career. And I'm completely against it because fat shaming causes so many problems. It does not help in any way, shape, or form. It's not the old tough love or hard coaching or whatever. No, fat shaming is extremely dangerous. And the psychological problems, as pointed out in the study by the University College of London, it's dangerous. We know that. This is not foreign to us. And so I'm not advocating that. Please understand, I don't advocate that. But it doesn't mean that the pendulum has to swing completely the different way. And the comparison I was going to make, I've told you that the reason why once we're stressed, once we have a lack of water, and we start these cravings, it causes an addiction. Salt, sugar, caffeine, alcohol, all highly addictive. When we think of somebody having alcoholism, we know, the intelligent amongst us know that just taking the alcohol out of the picture does not fix the problem. We have to deal with the problem. Why are they drinking? What is going on in their life? This is what AA is based on. Counseling on first recognizing you have a problem and then getting to the bottom of the issue and not treating it with alcohol, treating it with trying to solve the problem itself. Obesity is no different. I hate to tell you this, but obesity is no different. You're looking at somebody that has an addiction. We don't want to beat anybody up with addiction any more than I want to beat up an alcoholic or alcohol shame an alcoholic. I want to help that person. I want to deal with that problem. But you don't see situations. I mean, alcoholism, drug addiction, any kind of addiction like this, we know now. We never found it a great to celebrate that. We found it a great thing to quit beating these people up, to quit picking on them, to quit shaming them. That was not the answer. I get it. We all get it. That's why we develop programs like AA, like even Al-Anon, all these different programs that are out there to deal with addiction. But at no point in time, at least in my lifetime, we haven't celebrated addiction to drugs. Gone out and said this is a body positivity, this is a human positivity approach. That I'm going to celebrate the fact that I'm an alcoholic. That I'm going to go out and I'm going to celebrate the fact that I'm taking illegal intravenous drugs on a regular basis. I can't function. I'm going out and ruining my marriage, my life, my work. I'm stealing from people, whatever. All the bad traits that can come along with any kind of bad addiction. At no point in time did we celebrate that. No point in time did we celebrate that lifestyle. But that's what we're doing with obesity. And I think the reason that we're doing that is because we don't understand what it is. First thing, as I've said many times, we don't measure it correctly. We use this ridiculous, completely made up system of body mass index, a waste of time. Don't use it. If you're a health professional, quit using it. And you should know better. And if your physician's using it, if your personal trainer's using it, whatever, don't listen to them. Tell them they don't know what they're talking about. And tell them I said so. Give them my contact information. Area code 251-278-3343. 251-278-EDGE. They're welcome to call me, and I'll tell them how ridiculous it is to use BMI. In order to measure it correctly, we need to use body fat. And there's several different ways of measuring that. So first thing, we need to measure it correctly. Second thing is we need to identify what it is. It's an addiction. It is an addiction. This is what we're celebrating when we're coming out and saying, I have a positive body image because I'm so obese. And you should be proud of yourself because of your alcoholism. You see what I did there? Because that's exactly what's happening here, and it's incredibly dangerous. Again, I'm not speaking about these individuals, these celebrities' talents or what have you. Like I said earlier, I really don't. I don't know who they are, and that's not them. That's me. I'm sure they're probably very talented in what they do, but not this. This is damaging. This is hurting people, and this is exacerbating the problem by celebrating the number one killer in the world. If you're having challenges with this yourself, or you know anybody that is, or you want to argue with me about it, you want to discuss it with me, you think that I'm taking the wrong approach, that I'm attacking these individuals. If you're so, I have to say, pardon me for stepping on your feelings, but you're so ignorant to think that I'm doing this because I'm fat shaming. Hey, give me a call. Area code 251-278-3343, 251-278-EDGE. You can reach me at Garrett, Garrett, at personaledgefitness.com. Personaledgefitness.com, of course, is our website, our Facebook page. Hit me up on Twitter at TeamPE. It's not fat shaming, folks. It's not fat shaming to say that we need to stop this action of celebrating obesity, and instead, let's get your friends, family, yourself, these celebrities. Let's get them the help they need, because that's the only way we're going to help them reach their level of wellness. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll see you next time.